G'day, I've found a game called Instruments of Destructions. It's only a demo at the moment. It is available on Steam, and it lets you create crazy things like this machine here. I'm just doing. It only does a few islands, and it's not terribly. It's not a terribly deep demo at the moment, but it is interesting. So I've built this so it can actually have the drills go high or low. And you can see it's just absolutely fun thing to do, is just get into a building and just chop it in half and just destroy it. And so it's a cross between Terratech and a little bit of Scrap Mechanic. I'm dragging all the containers because I had a magnet on the back. So anyway, but what I'll do in this video is I'll show you how to build this, because it is actually available to be built in the demo as is. So what I'll do, I'll jump to the start. I'll break it all down real quick. So to delete, it's like a tree, and it does it from the point you started from. And I'll go through and show how all the parts work to create what we had. So I got the truck. Once you've done the couple of islands, you'll then get opportunity to do challenge levels and all that sort of stuff. But for us, I'll start with this one. I won't put mirror mode on, but I'll show you where it is up here, up the top, just so you get a better idea of what's going on. So for the build that I just had, I was using the 6-way block, which is not a default block, but you just click the lit part, and it will add that block on for you as you go. So it's fairly simple, very much like Terratech in that regards. So there's not too much functions, but it does have suspension. I'm not sure if that suspension has 2 modes to it. No. Okay. But what we've got is a wheel. So if you're using one of the wheels, you get the controls in the top corner. But one of the things is you can give it a strength, but you can also expand it to give it a different tire. And it only counts as one part, even though it looks like it's double tired. So that is one tire, and it's pretty good and strong, which is what I'm going to use. I'll go through, and in the connection I'm just going to put a suspension on, and in the one that I had in the window we actually had 4 tires, so I'll add the next 2 nodes so we can get the tires so you can see what's going on. So I'll add the suspension all the way around. Other side, just clicking where you need the suspension pieces to go. I'll throw the tires on. So what I'm going to do is click the suspension piece and tap E to expand it. Oh, missed the E. 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 Add the wheel on the other side. Now, what I had over the top of the cab was I actually had what I call a utility beam for me to play with, but it has some functionality. So I want the angle. Oh no, I'll do it with the normal block, just if we want to extend or do some other parts. But what I had was one of these power pivots. So if you put a power pivot in this place, now see how it's got an arrow here, just real close. It determines the direction of the pivot. So where that becomes handy for us, do the 45, stick it on. R is to rotate it, so it goes on a different plane for us. So I want to add the other one, and I want to rotate it so I've got a different plane coming out. Now if I put the powered hinge on this end, that's going to match that one, so they're both going to do the same action at the same time, but what I want is opposite. I want this one and this one to go differently. So if I rotate it, it puts the pivot on the other side. Now for controls wise, this control is these arrows here, which is left and right. I actually want it to be up and down. So if we choose the advanced display, we can choose up and down arrows. So this is now controlled as up and down. Click this one, change it to up and down. So now when we do the up arrow, this one will lift the boom, and this one will re-square the front back to square with the vehicle. So on the front, that's where we had a bit of mischief going on. So let me think about what I had. I put a 6-way block, and then by using this one, the 3-way Y split block, and rotate it on the side, half rotate it, rotate it. Now this is where I put the saws. Now the saw is like the tyre insofar as it can be rotated to give it a direction, but it can also be expanded with the E key as well. So you can actually have a large saw. It's not apparent directly. So we rotate this one, expand it, add another one, rotate it, expand it, and we go the same on this side, rotate it, expand it, put it rotating in the other direction, so that's matching up. Now these saws are very heavy, and part of this mission is we need to use a magnet as well. So using the magnet as a ballast, put it on the back slot, and then they've also got access to ultra heavy bricks like the concrete in Scrap Mechanic, and hopefully that's a copy of what I made before. Let's test it out. So let's see if the up and down's working. Up, no, it's not working properly. A little bit of off-camera work. I did have it correct in that one of the hinges needs to point to the side, and then if you click on the other hinge it's pointing the other way, so they work as a mirrored pair. So that was actually correct that I was working with. And what I've done is I've just reduced the saw blades using that E again to make them big or little, just so we got less wobble and we can see the mechanics of the hinging system work a bit better. So I'll just do the preview of that. So we've got it's set with an up and a down arrow, so I can bring it up. I've got the limiter set, so that makes it much easier. The smaller saw blades I find much more destructive than the big ones, but the big ones just look just so much fun in their destructive thing. But a small saw blades are less likely to get caught on the materials of the building, and it's just an easy way to go. But yeah, I'll keep the video short. This is my machine that I built from the demo mode, and it's a lot of fun. Hope you enjoy. But what I'll do is this hinge needs to be increased in its range. It's not moving far enough for us. So when you click on the advanced tools, you can choose the angle, so we can increase the angle that we're playing with, and then you guys can have fun. I hope you enjoy the game. Looking forward to it, but it's not coming out till next year. Yeah, so again, this is the Instruments of Destruction. It's available as a demo on Steam, and it's really good fun. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks, catch you later.